Lila Thompson returned to her hometown with a heavy heart. Her recent breakup had left her shattered. She hoped that the familiar streets and faces could heal her wounds. Her passion for writing had waned, and she needed a fresh start. The town, with its charming corners and friendly people, promised solace. The autumn air carried a comforting chill as she wandered through the streets. Memories of her childhood surfaced with every step, yet the happiness she once felt seemed distant. She was determined to find joy again, to reignite her creativity. On a particularly rainy afternoon, she found herself drenched and seeking refuge. Her eyes landed on a small, inviting tea shop. Unbeknownst to her, this quaint shop was about to change her life. Inside the scone stop, the aroma was intoxicating. Freshly baked scones, mixed with the rich scent of brewing tea, filled the air. The ambience was cozy, with wooden tables and soft lighting. It felt like stepping into a storybook. Lila's eyes roamed around the shop. She noticed the cheerful chatter of patrons, the clinking of teacups, and the laughter that filled the room. She found an empty table by the window and settled in, her wet clothes clinging to her. A waiter approached with a warm smile. He handed her a menu, but Lila was more interested in the atmosphere. The walls were adorned with vintage tea sets and framed quotes about love and baking. Her eyes finally settled on the counter, where a man was bustling about. Lila felt an unexpected pull towards him.
Welcome to the Scone Stop. What can I get for you today?
Ben Carter, the owner of the Scone Stop, had a knack for making everyone feel welcome. He noticed Lila the moment she walked in, drenched and seemingly lost. He decided to personally take her order, sensing she needed a bit of cheer. Approaching her table, Ben greeted her with a broad smile. Lila looked up, meeting his kind eyes, and felt a flicker of hope. She ordered a cup of Earl Grey and a scone, her usual comfort food. As Ben prepared her order, he couldn't help but glance her way. When he returned with her order, he made a mental note to check on her later. Lila felt a connection she hadn't expected, and Ben was curious to know more about her. Lila found herself returning to the Scone Stop frequently. The tea shop became her sanctuary, a place where she could escape her thoughts. Each visit, Ben greeted her warmly, and soon they started exchanging small talk. Their conversations were light, filled with jokes and laughter. Ben had a way of making her forget her troubles, even if just for a while. He was genuinely interested in her stories, prompting her to share more about her life. Slowly, Lila's passion for writing began to rekindle. She started jotting down notes, inspired by the people and stories around her. Their bond grew stronger with each visit. Lila appreciated Ben's easygoing nature and his ability to find joy in the simplest things. Ben, on the other hand, admired Lila's resilience and her ability to find beauty in words. Their connection was undeniable, and it filled her with a sense of hope she hadn't felt in a long time. One afternoon, amidst their usual banter, Lila accidentally knocked over her cup of tea. It spilled all over Ben's apron, staining it a deep golden brown. She gasped in horror, her cheeks flushing with embarrassment. Lila Thompson, as narrator. "I'm so sorry," she exclaimed, scrambling to clean up the mess. Ben chuckled, waving off her apologies. Ben Carter, as S1. "Don't worry about it," he said with a twinkle in his eye. "Consider it a tea stain of love." His playful comment broke the tension and they both burst into laughter. The incident became an inside joke between them. The tea stain of love was a symbol of their growing affection, a reminder of the happiness they found in each other's company. The local bake-off was an annual event that everyone in town eagerly anticipated. This year, it held even more significance for Ben. Winning the competition meant securing a future for the Scone Stop, as the prize money would help cover some crucial expenses. However, the competition was fierce, and Ben knew he needed to bring his A game. One evening, as they chatted over tea, Ben confided in Lila about the upcoming bake-off. He expressed his concerns and the pressure he felt to win. Lila, ever supportive, immediately offered to help. Lila Thompson, as narrator. "Let's do this together," she said, her voice filled with conviction. Their evenings soon became filled with flour, sugar, and laughter. They experimented with various scone recipes, each one more delicious than the last. Lila's creative ideas and Ben's baking skills made a perfect combination. The bake-off became more than just a competition. It was a testament to their teamwork and budding romance. As the bake-off approached, Lila and Ben spent almost every evening together in the kitchen. The small space was filled with the aroma of freshly baked scones and the sound of their camaraderie. They experimented with flavors, textures, and presentations, each batch bringing them closer to the perfect recipe. Lila's creativity shone through in their baking sessions. She suggested unique flavor combinations like lavender and honey, or lemon and rosemary. Ben, with his expert baking skills, brought these ideas to life. They complemented each other perfectly, their strengths balancing out their weaknesses. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. They shared stories, dreams, and even some fears. The kitchen became a place of comfort and connection. Just as everything seemed perfect, Lila's old flame, Jack, returned to town. He had heard about her return and wanted to reconnect. Jack's sudden appearance threw Lila into a whirlwind of emotions. She felt torn between her past and the new beginnings she had found with Ben.
Lila, can we meet and talk? I really need to see you.
Lila agreed, wanting to find closure. Their meeting was filled with nostalgia and unresolved feelings.
I regret everything, Lila. I want to rekindle what we had.
Lila's heart was in turmoil. She had loved Jack deeply, but their past was filled with pain and heartbreak. Ben noticed the change in Lila. She seemed distant and preoccupied. Lila found herself at a crossroads, torn between the familiar comfort of her past and the promising future she had started to build with Ben. Seeing Lila struggle with her emotions, Ben made a selfless decision. He decided to step back and give her the space to figure out her heart. It was a painful choice, but he wanted Lila to be truly happy, even if it meant losing her. His love for her was genuine and unconditional. Ben continued to prepare for the bake-off, though his heart was heavy. He missed the late-night baking sessions and the laughter they shared. The scone shop felt unusually quiet without Lila's presence, yet he remained supportive, hoping she would find the clarity she needed. Lila noticed Ben's distance and it confused her. She missed his warmth and the joy he brought into her life. Her feelings for Ben were undeniable, and it scared her to think of losing him. It was time to follow her heart and embrace the love she had found at the scone stop. On the morning of the bake-off, Lila felt a sense of urgency. She had to tell Ben how she truly felt. She rushed to the scone stop, her heart pounding with anticipation. Bursting through the door, she found Ben preparing the final batch of scones. He looked up, surprised to see her. Without hesitation, Lila walked up to him.
Ben, I need to tell you something.
She said, her voice trembling. She took a deep breath, gathering her courage.
I've realized that my heart belongs here with you. You've brought so much joy into my life, and I can't imagine my future without you.
Ben's eyes softened with emotion. Stepping closer, he took her hands in his.
Lila, you have no idea how much that means to me. You're the best thing that has ever happened to me. Let's face the future together.
Their confession was sealed with a heartfelt kiss, surrounded by the comforting aroma of freshly baked scones. The bake-off day was filled with excitement and nerves. The community gathered, eager to taste the creations of their local bakers. Lila and Ben presented their scones with pride. Their hard work and dedication shone through in every bite. The judges were impressed, praising their unique flavors and perfect texture. When the winners were announced, Lila and Ben's names echoed through the hall. They had won. The crowd erupted in applause, celebrating their victory. It was a moment of triumph, not just for them, but for the entire community that had supported them. As they celebrated their win, Lila and Ben held hands, their hearts full of gratitude. They knew this was just the beginning. The Scone Stop had become more than just a tea shop. It was a place where love and dreams flourished. Lila and Ben's love story became a cherished tale, reminding everyone that sometimes the sweetest things in life come when you least expect them.